गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् नान्यत् किञ्चन विद्यते विमृशतां यस्मात् परिस्मात् विभोः. What was told in the 9th verse there, that how the five elements, the sun, the moon and the conscious principle is pervading not only you but the whole universe. And when you look at the whole universe, everything in this universe is made up of the five elements, is governed by the sun and the moon, and in and through that matter the life is expressing wherever it is expressing. So your attention was brought from individual consciousness, which was in the previous verses, to the total consciousness, that this one consciousness alone is present. Puman is that consciousness, that Atma. It is not limited to one person, it is the same Atma which is present in because every body, every person is made out of those five elements. The life expressing is also the same life. Suddenly, is there a conclusion? No, there is no conclusion. You come back to yourself only if you think like this. So here, your attention was brought to the universal person rather than the individual person. Individual person meditates and comes to realize. If you want to come into the Sahaja Sthiti, then this step is necessary, where when your eyes open after meditation, you are seeing the whole world as the expression of that one. If this transformation in vision does not take place, then we'll keep going back into Samadhi. Then Sahaj Bhav will not come, it will not happen. And this is, here it was told, what? Vidyate Vimrushatam. Vimrushatam, those who are well refined, those who are well versed with the scriptures, those who are able to understand what the scriptures are saying. For them it is possible. Na anyat. Those who are not well versed, those who are not well integrated, those who are not well refined, for them, even though it is so evident everywhere, yet they are missing the click. And in this manner, our prostrations to that Dakshinamurti. I talked about it yesterday, that Dakshinamurti as the Ishvara, we talked about it in one verse. Purushottama, the Ishvara, the whole thing I told now already. I don't have to repeat that. So such a person, then he stops. Just like when you are in deep sleep, do you consider yourself to be anybody? Do you think while you are sleeping, you think, I am this body, I am 100 kg weight, and I am fat, or I am thin, or I am girl or a boy? Do you think when you are sleeping? You don't. So you know how not to think. You don't bring it about, it happens, isn't it? The idea of who you are in the waking completely dissolves away in sleep. Exactly the same way. When you contemplate in this manner, thinking that I am only this body, the Atma is only in this body, transforms into a vision that I am not only this body, but this whole universe is my body. And this Atma, just like this one Atma in the body is expressing as vision from the eyes, is expressing as hearing from the ears. So one Atma is expressing as various faculties, isn't it? The abilities, seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting, thinking, intellectualizing, all these are faculties. There is some intellectualizer behind, there is some seer behind the eyes, there is the hearer. Whose expression are these various the owner of that faculty? It is of that Atma only. Now you have expanded it to the whole universe. Now you are considering you are the whole universe. Your body is the whole universe. The entire pind. Remember that word pind came before? Pind is this body. But now your pind is the entire Brahmanda, the whole universe. Then your eyes are not now only these eyes. Every eye as a principle, is the instrument, and you are the seer behind all the eyes. You are the hearer behind all the ears. And that is Vishwarup Darshan. You have to just expand. I am the seer behind this eye. Now I am the seer behind every eye. I am the hearer behind this ear. I am the hearer behind every ear. For that, first you have to accept that your body is the total universe. And what is that total universe? Space, air, fire, water, earth. Sun, moon, and the life principle. And these are such sadhanas, and our prostrations to Dakshinamurti, who is teaching all this through his silence and through his words. Continuing the last verse. That's correct now? That's what we are doing. Sarvatmattvameti sfutikrutamidam yasmadamushmin stave tenasya shravanat tadarthamananat dhyanatcha sankirtanat sarvatmattvamahavibhuti sahitam syadishwaratvam swataha सिद्ध्येतत् पुनरष्टधा परिणतं च ऐश्वर्यमव्याहतम्. So this is the Falashruti, the last verse. Falashruti means the result of the entire contemplation. Normal, a seeker will not look for Falashruti. 8th verse, his teaching stopped. This is for the unrefined ones. They want some result. They want something in return for the sadhana that they have done. They want to experience something. They want to get something in return. I have invested so much time. I didn't go to sleep. I meditated upon the truth. I did so many rosaries of doing japa. What did I get in return? In Adhyatma Ramayana, I told you the story of Bhakta Amala on Jnaneshwar Maharaj's class, Gita class. So like that. Yeah. So what is in it for me? Normally person will want something in return. So for such people this verse is given that and most of whether you take Narayana Suktam, you take Purusha Suktam, you take Rudram, you take Durga Suktam, you take any composition, there is always a Falashruti. It is for keeping in mind those people who are looking for the result, to inspire them to come onto this path, to inspire them to become focused, to inspire them to become do mananam and nididhyasanam and dhyan. So initially तो लड्डू देना पड़ता है. तो यहाँ पे there we say that the various Falashrutis, they put in such a way that whatever you are thinking, that is given there. In Rudram, everything, the whole universe is yours, that is your Falashruti. In Ganesha Shruti, Ganapati Atharva, the Falashruti is that he will remove all your obstacles. Man is continuously worried about his obstacles, who is going to take care? But there the Falashruti that the Brahmin, he will become more intelligent, obstacles will be removed. The Kshatriya, he will become more powerful, all obstacles will be removed. The Vaishya, he will have more wealth, all his obstacles will be removed. And this way, the farmer, his crop will be more, all obstacles, he will get good rain and good soil, everything, all obstacles will. So all that, the normal person wants to hear that what about me? What about, what am I going to get by chanting this? It is good that I am chanting and remembering and by hearting the Ganapati Atharva, but what is in it for me? And here, in these verses, in the last verse, over the 9 verses, our Atma was shown that it is the Sarvatma Bhav, that it is all pervasive. Sarvatma, that it is the Atma is not located in one body, but it is the Atma of everything. It is the cause of everything. It is the essence of everything. And this Bhava, the previous contemplation, it was the Bhava, that the Ashtamurti is pervaded by that Atma. And Bhavana means it is not your experience at the moment, but you are making yourself available to that experience. Logically, you have worked it out that the 5 elements are gone to made all your bodies, 5 elements are making my body. Then if everything is made up of the same elements, then we are one, we are not separate. Now to see that oneness, you have to go beyond the form. For that, bhava is required. And in this way, the Sarvatma Bhav was talked about. And the same Sarvatma Bhav, the all-pervading consciousness, the all-pervasive Atma, is talked about by Upanishads also. And Upanishads, they are the contemplative sections of the Vedas, where the truth is propounded without any any beating about the bush, straight. And Adi Shankaracharya is saying here that in this Dakshinamurti Stotram, I have taught you the essence of all the Upanishads. Essence. Bhagavad Gita also was the essence, but here it is in a more concise form. Only 10 verses. Bhagavad Gita, how many? So many verses. 750. Here only 10 verses. Out of that also he says only 8 verses required. Out of that he says only first verse you read, that is first line of the first verse, that is also enough. Vishwam Pashyati Dharpana, that's all is enough if you understand. So in this way Shankaracharya, he is presenting to us the essence of all the Upanishads. And when we come to the scriptures, what are the 3 things that we need to study in detail? It's called Prasthanatrayi. Prasthanatrayi is, we must study the Bhagavad Gita, we must study the Upanishads, and we must study the Brahma Sutras. Brahma Sutras we'll see when we have to take it. First, let's finish all these Upanishads once or twice or thrice in our life, then we'll come to that. If you are there or I am there, we'll address it. काल के ऊपर है नहीं, हमारे ऊपर है. काल is under my thumb. You are the master of time. Don't we'll think positively, but it will happen. We are working towards it. And in this way, he has condensed the entire essence of all the Prasthanatrayi. Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, the Brahma Sutras, he uska nichod nikal liya hai, and he has presented in the form of Dakshinamurti, and in this way. And what is this essence that he has taken out of all the Prasthanatrayi? The essence is the Sarvatma, that self is all that there is, that the Atma alone is Brahman, that it is one without a second. This is the essence of all the scriptures. If we are getting caught in anything other than this, but what about gods, what about Rama, then you are going the wrong way. You have to understand that they are expressions of that same reality. They know that you don't know it, you are caught up in their form. They are not caught up. Ramchandraji is not caught up in his form. One moment he is going to crown the king, next moment he is in a forest. We saw that in Adhyatma Ramayana. He is not affected because he is established. So here, rather than voicing and thinking about the God, our positive thinking will be, these gods are also nothing but that one reality. That reality alone is expressing as the various gods. Sarvatma. So is there not every god when we see? Do they not have a personality? They have a personality. Do they not have a form? They have a form. Are they not alive? They are alive. So there is conscious principle expressing through them also. That conscious principle is not other than the self that I am. And where are these gods? In your body. At a micro level. At the macro level, they are in the world. In the universe. And micro is exact replica of the macro. The whole macro is in the micro, and the micro is in the macro. The wave is in the ocean, and the ocean is in the wave. Ocean is the macro, wave is the micro. You understanding this much? The wave is in the total waters of the ocean, and the total ocean is also in the individual wave. So the total universe is presented, is in you, and you are in the total universe. That was told through the Ashtamurti. So in this manner, everything in this creation is Atma alone, and there is nothing else other than the Atma. This is our conclusion, and this is the conclusion that the seeker or the student must come to through his self-analysis and contemplation in Nidhyasana, as the scriptures are guiding him through. And in this way, when we talk about the anatma, that is not self, it is a mithya. It is, what is mithya? That which appears to be but is not there. The wave appears to be but is not there. The ocean appears to be but is not there. The rainbow appears to be but is not there. The blueness of the sky appears but it is not there. Sky is got color, is colorless. The husband, wife appear to be, but only man or woman is there, isn't it? So whatever is appearing but is not there is called mithya. There is no place for this mithya. This life will continue like that. The whole, your life will also continue like that. Question is, your vyakruta is thinking about mithya. Vicharatmaka is thinking about the Atma. So are we thinking about that which is not there and giving it a status of existence? Or are you, in spite of your senses, seeing that which is not there? Your attention is on that which is continuously the essence of everything that is not there. So your eyes are seeing the water also, your eyes are seeing the wave also, and the ocean also. Where is your attention? Is it on the water? Is it on the wave? Or is it on the ocean? Choice is yours, where you put your attention. Because whatever you touch, whether you touch ocean or you touch a wave, you are touching water only. If you touch water and say this is water, then you are touching the essence. But if you are touching the water and saying this is the Indian Ocean or the Southern Ocean, and this is the wave, then you are losing the plot. You are getting caught up in the web of Maya. See? So, from our point, from study of this scripture, we do not want to get lost in Anatma, in Mithya. We want to see that everything is nothing but that Atma Tattva, that Atma, that consciousness alone. Just as when we see the ornaments, we see them as separate from each other, but the material that has gone into each ornament is nothing but the gold. So what is the constant? The gold. What is the non-constant? The form of the ornament. But that form is only a shape given to a gold. So is your attention on the form or is your attention on the essence? Similar to example I gave you before. So our attention must be on the essence. And initially you don't focus on the essence in the outside world. You put the attention on the essence within. As we had done. If you find that difficult, then you do the outside one, Ashtamurti. Become focused on one of them. And in this way, the ornaments are not separate and they are nothing but the gold which is being called by different names. Similarly, the Anatma, that all the names and forms of this world are nothing but expressions of that one. And that one alone is appearing as the space, air, fire, water, earth, sun, moon, and the life. Everything is that alone. And our attention through Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, it must come to that. That will come in our next line. And in this way, the essence is one, but the names and forms are many. People, the Atma, you also say my Atma, she also says my Atma, I also say my Atma. So Atma is the same. She also says I, she also says I also say I. I is the same. Then why are we saying it? Because our attention is on the, why are we seeing differences? Because our attention is on the form. Forms have names. As many number of forms, that many number of names. But the essence behind, just like the form is a necklace, form is a bracelet, form is a ring. Forms are different, they have got different names for it. But the essence behind it is the gold alone, exactly the same way is here. So, in other words, Jivatma, Paramatma, Aikyam, meaning the Jiva and the Paramatma, the consciousness within and the universal consciousness is one and the same. It's not separate. The water in the ocean, the water in the wave is one and the same. So if the wave has to say, it is studying scriptures, it will say, oh, Jiva Paramatma Aikyam, that I and the ocean are one. It can never see the ocean, but it has come to realize, because it dived deep into itself, and it came to realize that I am the water, and the form of the ocean and the form of the wave are only names given to the self that I am. Now it knows that it is the infinite water. It knows that it is expressing in and through without a break, continuously through the ocean as well as through the wave, isn't it? This should be the vision that we get when we move through the world. And in this way, or we can say, Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. This is another way of putting it, that Brahman, the consciousness, the truth alone is the truth. Brahma, the total consciousness or infinite consciousness alone is the truth, and Jagat Mithya. And what is Jagat? Name and form. Name and form is Mithya. Mithya meaning false. False meaning that which appears but is not there. And Jiva Brahmaiva na para. This is another statement from the Upanishads that Jiva, there is nothing apart from the Jiva and the Brahman. In other words, the consciousness within and the consciousness without, the total consciousness, there is nothing beyond that. It is the one and the same. And in this way, the Vedantic essence has been taught, and the Adi Shankaracharya says, Amushmin stave sarvatmattvamiti sfuti krutamidam yasmad amushmin stave. What is Amushmin stave? Amushmin stave, that is, where did I teach it? I taught it in this Dakshinamurti Stotram. Through this Dakshinamurti Stotram, I have taught you. He did not say that I taught you through Dakshinamurti Ashtakam. He just said, I have taught you. I taught you through Dakshinamurti Stotram. So now, when everything has become one, why you want to divide it into 8 verses or 10 verses? Why you want to divide? When Jiva and Brahma have become one, when two have become one, then why do you want to say that I taught you through 2, or I taught you through 8, or I taught you? No, just through Dakshinamurti. Truth is one. That is where the point is coming. And in this way, when we even in relative, commonly speaking, when we say that we are studying Dakshinamurti, automatically it goes. If you just say Dakshinamurti we are studying, in common parlance, everyone will understand it is Dakshinamurti Stotram. Automatically it will come to people that we are studying Dakshinamurti Stotram. So why we have to say Stotram, why we have to say Ashtakam, and so on. It is through the remembrance of the Lord that we are studying, we are reveling in the truth. So this study of Dakshinamurti is equivalent to the study of Prasthanatrayi, is equivalent to the study of Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads and Brahma Sutras. It is equivalent to that. And therefore, and therefore, the one who wants to do Vedanta study, Vedanta study means the study of Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads and the Brahma Sutras. What he needs to do to prepare, that is told here now in the second verse. Tena sya shravanat tadarthamananat dhyanat cha sankirtanat. Then to do this Vedanta vichar, Vedanta sadhana, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana is required to be done, and he can do it of the 3 Gita, Upanishads and Brahma Sutras, or you can do Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana of Dakshinamurti Stotram. One is enough. And in this way, it is equal to the study of Vedanta Shravanam, Upanishad Shravanam, Gita Shravanam, Brahma Sutra Shravanam, or the Prasthanatrayi Mananam, or the Prasthanatrayi Nididhyasanam and Dhyanam. All this Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam of Dakshinamurti is equivalent to the vast compositions of Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads and the Brahma Sutras. And therefore, we talked about Shravanam. What is Shravanam? I have said it many times. We have forgotten. What is Shravanam? Listening is the normal understanding of Shravanam. But what is Shravanam actually?
Focus listening.
Huh? Kripa? Contemplation, that is Nididhyasan. What is listening?
Focus listening.
If you want to bypass Mananam and Nididhyasanam, how do you need to listen to realize? Dhyanam is another step. Nididhyasan leads to Dhyanam.
By keeping in mind, by in whose presence the listening is happening.
Correct. Someone's listening very well. I should have asked you also. Why? One is listening. That is superficial listening. You are listening to my words and you are comprehending the words. Then afterwards, what did Swamiji say? And you come out of this class, or while the class is going on, because I'm going so quickly from one word to the next, one verse, one thought to the next thought, and suddenly, oh, what did he say there? You know what did he say? That means you are not listening. Why you are not listening? Because your attention was only on the words that were falling on your ears. And when your attention is only on the words that are falling on the ears, those words are broken. One word is separate from the other word. Second word is separate from the third word. Third word is separate from the fourth word, and so on. It is broken knowledge. This is the long way to understand or listen. Then what is the direct method of listening and realizing without going into Mananam Nididhyasan? Shift your attention while listening to that principle because of which listening is taking place. What is that power within you because of which your ears are functioning? A dead man ear is not functioning. He can't listen. What is that which is making the difference between dead and alive? You are alive. So what is that which is making you alive, because of which, what is that principle? That is the Atma. That is the consciousness. And when your attention is on the consciousness because of which the words are being heard, then whatever the words are indicating, you are already there. Then you don't need Mananam. We'll talk now what is Mananam. So this is if a refined student, he listens and it's over. Nothing more required. No Mananam. Mananam means reflection on the words that you have heard, and whatever possible doubts are there in your mind, having listened to those words, removal of those doubts and finding solution to those doubts. Resolving those doubts within yourself. See? So why did those doubts come? Because every word, if I say mithya, suddenly mithya will, that which is and which is not, that which appears but doesn't appear. Suddenly you start thinking about appear and not appear, appear, not appear. You have forgotten the self. You are lost in the... When we go to the jewelry shop, we don't pay for the gold, we pay for the ornament. When the jeweler buys the ornament back from you, or when you go to sell back, you are selling the ornament, but what is the jeweler buying from you? Gold. He pays you less. You pay through your nose for the ornament. But the actual value of the gold, say, is 100 rupees, and you paid 1000 rupees for the ornament. When you go back to sell, the jeweler is going to pay you only 99 rupees, not even 100. See? So where are you investing yourself? So and then you can argue, as much as you may argue, he is not going to give you your money. You said 900 rupees loss, you paid for the form. So you have invested as an individual. Are we investing in the form, or are we investing in the essence? Where are we invested in? Mananam is required when we are invested in the form. What is the form coming as? Words. So you are listening to different ideas, different thoughts, different terminology is being used, different examples are being used of wave, water, ocean. So many times gold and ornament we are using, snake and the rope we are using. You have heard it hundreds of times. But have we sorted it out yet? Because if you had sorted it out, you won't be here. Or you will be here gracing me so that I can give a lecture. See? Chalo, Swamiji ko kuch karna hai. Poor fellow wants to talk. Let's go and fill up the class. See? So where are we invested? Why do we want to elongate the process of self-realization? Self is here and now, isn't it? Now we are telling Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, Dhyanam. So it is immediate. And now you have created 4 steps in between. Hearing was enough. You are that. Thank you very much. Oh, where's the lunch? Go. Nothing more required. Don't use too many words. That's what Dakshinamurti is doing. He's not using. He's saying, I can't talk to you anymore about it. See? So Mananam is when we have not heard properly, meaning whatever the words were indicating, what were all the words of the scriptures indicating, the essence. Your attention was not the essence while listening. Therefore, you need the next step, which is Mananam. And Mananam is removal of doubts. Where I was going wrong, I don't know, man. I think this teacher is not good enough. I need to go to a more realized teacher. I think this teacher does not understand. We don't want to take responsibility that we went wrong in our listening. We want to change the outside. Understand? This is normal. So Mananam. We take responsibility, we find out within ourselves where we are going wrong in what we have heard. If scriptures are saying you are that, then why there is a delay? I heard. Just now I asked you the question, what is true listening? Except one, nobody could answer. So you need Mananam. So I'm doing Mananam for you now. Understand? I'm doing Mananam. We are removing the doubt now. By answering that question, I did Mananam. Now you are clear. So now doubt is removed in few sentences, the doubt is removed. Now you got no doubt. You got the answer of what is true Shravanam. What is correct? Actual listening, what is it? You know now. Now do it. If you do it, what will be the next step? Nididhyasanam. Nididhyasanam is continuous contemplation of the theme that is presented. What is that theme? Theme is you are the self. Theme is not the words. Theme is you are the self. Theme is you are the one. Atma is that because of which hearing is taking place. Atma is that because of which seeing is taking place. Why you want to break up yourself into the 5? Go back to the source. Be the source. It doesn't take long. So Nididhyasan is having or cultivating the stamina to stay with the theme, with the essence for longer and longer periods of time. The longer you are able to stay with it, the deeper will be the absorption. Initial stages, that's how we can explain. Because you have decided you are not the Atma. So we have to create a sequence for you. That sequence was Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasan. In Nididhyasan leads to Dhyanam. We saw that in the previous. Idhar hi hai na wo? Here only, Dhyanam. Nididhyasan, absorption leads to deep absorption. Absorption can be few types. It can be with thought, it can be without thought. If it is with thought, it is Savikalpa. If it is without thought, it is Nirvikalpa. What is this? Dhyanam is absorption. No, dhyanam is continuous engagement with the theme. Continuous engagement with the theme. Nididhyasan. Here they have separated Nididhyasan and Dhyanam. We can take here Dhyanam as Samadhi, where you are absorbed into the focus on which you are contemplating. Nididhyasan is contemplation. So what is the contemplation? On Atma. What is the contemplation on? That Atma which is expressing behind the eye, behind the ears, behind the tongue, behind the nose, behind the mind, behind the intellect. That Atma, I am. This is our focus. So now question is, are you thinking about all the faculties or are you attentive? Because you cannot think of Atma. You can think of Atma as a thought, as word, Atma. But what it represents, you cannot think about. So you can be only attentive of yourself. In that attention, if that is Nididhyasan, if we are attentive of it, absorption will take place. Initially it may be few seconds, and as we practice it again and again and again, deeper and deeper absorption comes. And to make it, I'm not going to repeat again, to make it into a Sahaj Bhav, Sahaj Sthiti, with this information that the Atma within is the Atma without, then we don't even need to practice meditation or dhyan too many times. The first time with this data as given in Dakshinamurti, if we go into meditation, there and then the transformation that everything is one without a second, it happens. There's no delay there. But because these last two verses are for the person who is not well refined, therefore I'm using this language that he may have stages, that he needs the stages of Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasan, Dhyanam and Sankirtanam or Kirtanam, continuously singing the glory of the Atma, so that his mind is washed away by these thoughts again and again, and it becomes completely purified, which leads to Nididhyasanam and then eventually absorption. And that absorption, for such a student who is not well prepared, well integrated, when he does this, integration begins. And directly proportional to the integration is his absorption. More integrated, more absorption, fully integrated, permanent absorption. Permanent absorption, whether in samadhi or outside in the world, he is continuously absorbed. But integration is required. And what is that integration? Integration here is we are not talking about as you think, so you speak and so you act. We have already gone beyond it. That is at the relative level as a seeker. Here we are talking about integration is coming to the source only. Because when you are talking about as you think, so you speak, so you act in life, it is only at the peripheral level. It is only at the thought level. It is only at the body level. You are integrating the subtle body and the gross body. But we are not talking, that is the integration is always of the body, no doubt about it. But here we are bringing that integration about not by thinking of thought, word and deed, but we are allowing the integration to happen, not by our will, but by thinking about the Atma. And when we are thinking about the Atma, automatic integration takes place. Example, which you have heard it many times, when iron filings are in the presence of a magnet, all of them become unidirectional, isn't it? And all of those iron filings, if they remain for a particular period of time in the presence of the magnet, not attached to the magnet also, they will start exhibiting the magnetic qualities to some extent. Isn't it? This is an experiment which we did in school. Exactly the same way. The magnet is the Atma, all the thoughts are the iron filings or nails. When they are continuously attentive of the mother magnet, they become unidirectional. Then mind also becomes divine because the magnetic power of the Atma gets osmosis takes place. It gets transferred to the mind, because mind in essence is nothing but the Atma. The multitude of waves, if you take them as thoughts, are nothing but the water. So on the surface of the water, the waves are appearing. On the surface of the consciousness, the thoughts are appearing. Essentially they are waves, water, Atma only. Contemplate on this and transform yourself. For this, now what should I do? Do I do pranayam? Do I do asana? Nothing required to be done. Just as every wave is only an appearance, water is the essence, every thought is an appearance, Atma is the essence, and that I am. Bring your attention to the Atmic principle that you are, ever and ever and ever. Coming to this Atmic principle itself is moksha. You cannot, once you have known, you cannot go back. You cannot go back. So in this way, Shravanam also should be done under the tutelage of a competent teacher. Who is that teacher? He should be Shrotriya Brahmanist. He should be well versed in the scriptures. He should be practicing what he is teaching in the what is given in the scriptures, and he must have realized what the scriptures are indicating. If you get all the three components in one person, you are very lucky. His grace is there. See? And when to such a teacher you become available, that is also in your hands. He cannot make you become available. When we become available or come in the presence of such a teacher, the words do make an impact on us. And in this way, he is able to, by his mere presence, he is able to effect, because he is like that magnet who is established in the truth, and you are like the iron files who have come with mind in all directions. You come in his presence, boom, suddenly we become focused, because his words carry that impact, because they are coming from the source. See? And from our side, then what do we need? From our side, we need faith. We need commitment. We need dedicated, disciplined approach to the scriptures as well as to the teacher. We need surrender, and we must accept. When we listen to Dakshinamurti, we will know, it is a composition of Shankaracharya. He has composed so many things and he has confused us. If this is your approach, you will not going to get anything from it. But if we see, oh wow, he composed Bhaj Govindam, he composed the Bhashya of all the Upanishads and Gita, he composed Manisha Panchakam, and I had heard Dakshinamurti, and my God, this is so fantastic. It is the essence of all the Upanishads and Gita and Brahma Sutras. Oh, I don't have to study all that, only one. Wow, I am going to just dive into it. You have to have that faith. You have to accept that what is given here is by a great master, a realized master. The commentary that is given by Sureshwaracharya, one of his disciples, that is who himself is a great person. He is also Shankaracharya. So we have to accept that. If we don't accept it, I will see who has written this commentary. I'll see if there is any other better commentary available. That means throughout the satsang, you were thinking about another commentary because in your mind you have come to a conclusion this commentary is difficult. होता है ना कभी कभी that these verses are difficult. Swami, so does the teacher need to change or the student needs to change? So you raise your bar and come to resonate with the teacher or with the scripture. Scriptures are written, Upanishads are written, they cannot change. But the student has to change so that what is given in the scriptures, he comes to realize. See? But here it is different because we have a choice. We say, I think I am going to read Tulsi Ramayana, Adhyatma Ramayana is too much. Only Sanskrit, Sanskrit, Sanskrit. समझ ही नहीं आता. हिंदी वाला ठीक है अवधि में. मन में विचार आता है ऐसे. आई एम टॉकिंग ओनली व्हाट हैज गॉन थ्रू माई माइंड once upon a time. Now whether it is Tulsi Ramayana or whether it is Malmiki Ramayana or whether it is Adhyatma Ramayana or Adbhut Ramayana, I enjoy all of them. Whether it is Dakshinamurti, I enjoy this also. Whether I am taking the Bhashya when we are doing Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, I enjoy that also. If I don't understand the Bhashya of, we are taking the Bhashya of Bhagavad Gita by Jnaneshwar Maharaj, it is in Marathi, I don't understand Marathi, but the translation of that Marathi, I enjoy that also. You must enjoy everything because it's all the same. Rather than say that this is difficult or this is acceptable or this is unacceptable, don't get into that. This only happens when your attention is on the thoughts. When your attention is on the essence, all these differences automatically melt away. So bless yourself by thinking of the self. Swamiji, that is too much. Okay. Think of the self and allow the blessings to express. So we come to here when it says Sarvatmatva Mahavibhuti Sahitam. Third verse. Sarvatma. Sarvatma means I alone am expressing as all the forms of this universe. When you have come to, you have done Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasana, Dhyana and Sankirtana, you are established in the truth. Then what is the result? The sense of differences, the sense of duality, the sense of otherness, that you are other than me. The likes, dislikes, love, hatred, survival, fear, all this will go out of your mind. Because all this establishes the individuality. When you think of the form, individuality is concretized. You become the ice cube. When you think of the total form, not total form, this is 1 plus 1 plus 1. We are not talking about infinite numbers of form is equal to infinity. How can infinite number of individual forms equal to infinity? Is infinite number of waves equal to total waters of the ocean? Yes or no?
Yes.
No. Wave is only on the top of the ocean. Ocean is 10 kilometers deep also. So can the wave access the 10, even 5 meters deep, can it access? No. So understand, all objects added together in this universe is not equal to infinity, is not equal to Atma. But that is our goal. We want to discover this universe as Atma. It has to be the inside out. This Atma that was the previous verse, Ashtamurti. So this Atma, which I have come to realize, is the essence of the entire universe. Is the essence. Our attention is not on the form. Our attention is on the essence. If you think of the form, again division will take place. We have to come to such a disposition that our attention is ever on the essence. Just like whether you like it or not, whether you think or not, your attention, knowingly or unknowingly, is that you are a man or a woman, isn't it? You don't keep thinking again and again, but you know it. It is a knowingless knowing. You're not thinking all the time. Can we bring ourselves to a point where whether we articulate it or we don't articulate it, we are always the Atma. We are the essence of the whole universe. Just like you feel you are pervading the whole body, you don't feel I am not present there, you are present everywhere. You have to come to a point within yourself through these contemplations that I am the one who is everywhere. This cannot be an experience. You can experience me speaking, but you cannot experience I am everywhere. You cannot experience that. That is your natural state. Once the wave merges into the water, that very moment it becomes the total ocean. That very moment it becomes the total ocean. It doesn't now I have become the water. Now slowly, step by step, I will become the total ocean. It doesn't happen that way. In fact, it doesn't even become the ocean if I take you one step further. The moment it merges into its source, it becomes the water which is beyond the wave and being the ocean. Other people will see the ocean and wave, but for that wave, it has become the infinite. And that is what Dakshinamurti represents. That is where all these verses are taking us. That is where it says, Sarvatmatva Mahavibhuti Sahitam. Mahavibhuti is the Vishwaroop Sahitam. Every form is included in this Atma. And therefore, this Atma is known as, also called as Sarvatma. It is called Sarvatma Bhava. Gita keeps telling that have Sarvatma Bhav. When Modi ji keeps saying Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that the whole world is one family, it means he is having Sarvatma Bhav. He sees the whole world as one family. And what are we doing? We are not looking at family, because families still have many members. Here we are saying everything is Atma, Sarvatma. We are not saying one family. We are saying one Atma. For a politician, that suits. He is also sannyasi. But as an Adhyatmic student, this is where we want to come to. And when you come to this point, automatically when you are functioning out there in the world, depending upon how the Lord chooses you, you will go in that direction where you see the whole world as a family. But let's not go into it. Here we are Sarvatma, that the Atma within me is the Atma everywhere. Everywhere. Because this Atma is the source of the space. The whole world is in the space. So that means if the Atma is the source of space, then out of space came air, fire, water, earth, sun and moon. The Atma is pervading that also. Then came the human being. I have already discovered I am the Atma. Now I am discovering that this Atma is present in everything. Sarvatmatva Mahavibhuti Sahitam. Mahavibhuti, this is the Vishwaroop Darshan. And Vishwaroop Darshan, when Bhagwan gives Vishwaroop Darshan, he doesn't become afraid of his own darshan. He is showing hundreds of infinite heads, infinite eyes, infinite arms, infinite bodies. The whole universe is coming out of him, whole verse is going back into him. He says, oh man, what is this? I have never seen myself like this, and gets scared. Arjuna got scared. Krishna did not get scared of his own form. If you see this as outside of you, like Arjuna, you will also get scared. And you will get up from the dream. What was that? Then someone will tell you, that was, and you explain, that is Vishwarup Darshan. Oh my God, it was Vishwarup, but I got so scared. If some Baba with big mustache and jata and dadi and with very piercing eyes comes in the dream, you will wake up. But he was Brahman, he was realized master, came to grace you, but you didn't have the capacity to handle him. No stamina. Bhagwan comes, you don't, you wake up. Like Dhruva kept rubbing his eyes. Did I see God? He tricked me. He came in my mind, but he's not there physically. Closed his eyes again. Again he came. Again he woke up. Came out of his meditation. This is what we do. This is what we do. We have to, this will keep going on. And even if he comes in front of you physically, again he will go away. Mahatmas come and go away. Dakshinamurti will come now and it will go away. Text is over with this verse. Then what? Before this text is over, we have to discover that Vishwarup, that universal form, is not of someone. It is me alone. It is my nature. It is my expanse. I alone am expressing as the space, air, fire, water, earth, sun, moon, and life everywhere. It is my vibhuti. It is not an arrogant statement. That is the truth. It is the vibhuti of this Atma, that this whole universe that is being perceived, inside and outside. Till this conclusion is not, if this is the conclusion, this is the phala. If this result is there, then there is no misery thereafter. Because there will be no opposites. There is nothing, no one to fight with. Because there is no duality. There is no sense of otherness. There is no me versus you. Because everything is me. Everything is I. Everything is Atma. Sarvatma vibhuti sahitam. So you are not going, it is my journey to the truth. No. I have discovered everything is the truth here and now. I don't have to take and convert anybody to become spiritual. It is transformation of my vision about myself. First I was thinking I'm a father, mother. Then I discovered that I am a man. Then I discovered I am the jiva. Then I understood that I am the Atma. I am the life. Then I discovered I am the Atma. Then I discovered I am the Atma, which is the essence of everything. Story over. Thereafter nothing more is required. And this must happen with every text, with every word. Sarvatmatva mahavibhuti sahitam syad ishwaratvam swataha. I alone am the Ishvara. Big statement that God and I are not separate. The total universal form is God. Remember, individual body, total body. Total body is God. He also, the creator, maintainer, destroyer, isn't it? Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Here, waker, dreamer, sleeper. Same sattva, rajas, tamas. Now I discovered I am everything. So they are included in me. And I am supporting them. Or I am expressing as them. So true. And in this way, this is only possible when before meditation, during nididhyasana, contemplation, our intellect accepts what has just been told without a doubt. If there is one single doubt, this will not happen. So, this realization is directly proportional to the conviction that you have entertained in your intellect. Even though it is the foregone truth, it is like that. But to be that, to abide in that, so that we don't go into the bylanes of void, into the bylanes of various lokas, into the bylanes of various siddhis, into the bylanes of this power or that power. Like we saw in Kathopanishad, Lord Yamaraj says, I also had the similar thoughts like you, young Nachiket, but I wanted to be the master of death, and I have become master of death. But you are a greater student than I was. Because even after I am giving you the pralobhan, I am tempting you with so many things, you don't want anything. I succumbed to the position of Yamaraj, who could determine who goes to heaven, who goes to hell. I am the master of death. See? So if we don't think in this manner, we will get caught up somewhere. Either on the seat of meditation, you will go into savikalpa samadhi or some fearful samadhi, can't say fearful samadhi, void samadhi. Or in your daily life, some miracles will start happening, extraordinary abilities will start expressing, and before you know, you have become a slave of those abilities. Those are all tests that come along to check how much is your stamina in contemplating on that you are the Atma and everything is the Atma. And you succumb to that, the sabotage has taken place. Self-sabotage. Again, back into the world. Then what will happen? Next life is there. Again, listen to Dakshinamurti. So whatever we have heard, Shravana, we have removed the doubts about what we have heard, Manana, we have become single-pointed about what we have heard, Nididhyasana, we have assimilated what we have heard, Dhyana, assimilated as I am what I have heard. And when we are out of that meditation, we keep singing the glory of that Sankirtana. That was the Tenasya Shravanat Tadartha Mananat Dhyanatya Sankirtanat Sarvatmatma Mahavibhuti Sahitam Syad Ishwaratvam Swataha. Swataha, myself. Ishwaratva, that Ishwara, I am myself. There is no difference. Once I have realized that the whole universe is nothing but the Vibhuti. Vibhuti means what? Glory. When you recognize that every ornament is the Vibhuti of the gold. Every ornament is the glory, is the Vibhuti, is the expression of that one gold. Every wave is the vibhuti expression, manifestation of that one water. Similarly, this whole universe is equal to waking plus dream plus deep sleep. Not only the waking. The whole universe is the vibhuti, is the manifestation, is the expression of that one Atma that I am. Then what will you do? Let things be as they are. Nothing needs to be changed. Nothing needs to be changed. Then such a person is ever content, ever happy, ever blissful. Not wanting, I wish this class finishes early and then I am able to go to that appointment also. No, then you are here, you are here. If there is next class, there is next class. But I planned for the next class. Swamiji said there is only one and no, after lunch there will be no class. Swamiji told lies. That's also vibhuti, game. Take it or leave it. It does not matter whether you are here or not there. For me, I'm not talking about you. So, when it is taken as the vibhuti, there is no seriousness. We become miserable because we are serious, isn't it? When there is vibhuti, I am everywhere. Attention is not on the essence outside. Essence is within you. The location is within. You have accessed it within as the self. Now it has transformed into, manifested into everywhere. Now don't focus on the forms. It is a natural disposition. You cannot work it out. If it happens, it happens. You cannot work it out. How did I spread all around in the body? Can you work it out? Can you work out how does the butter pervade the milk? How does the cream pervade the milk? Can you work it out? Can you work out how does when does the yogurt become, the milk become the yogurt? Can you work it out? You cannot. Can you work out what is that point where you were waking and now you have gone to sleep? Can you work it out? But we must try. Because if you try, you catch that point, you will come to where we are talking about. You will come to the self. That's the doorway. You have to think. You have to catch that moment. And what is that? How to get to that point? All these verses were about bringing you to that point, to that sandhi, to that last thought, to that acceptance. See, in the difference between Vedanta and other paths is there is a sadhana, there is a process, there is a physical process, there is a breath process, there is a mental process of focusing and everything. All that is in the last two verses that we have seen, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, Dhyanam and Sankirtanam. But Vedanta Vedanta is transforming your thinking. There is no sadhana required. You can do it on the toilet seat also. You can sit anywhere, in whichever way you want. You can lie down. Whether you are breathing slow or breathing hard, it does not matter. Whether you are seeing the world or not seeing the world, it does not matter. Whether there is disturbance of sounds or there is silence, it does not matter. Whether we are with the family or without the family, it does not matter. Whether you are bachelor or married, it does not matter. Whether you have eaten food or not eaten food does not matter. Nothing matters. Only conviction. Your mind, intellect, while these thoughts are being presented, the thinking leads to dissolution of thinking. And where the thinking dissolves, the last thought dissolves, there you in your essence start expressing. It reveals itself. Not that you started, it reveals itself. It gets invoked. It starts shining. When does the sun shine? When the last bit of cloud has passed away. That last bit of cloud to see the full shine is that last thought which has passed away. So when is that last thought that is passed away? I just gave one example. When you are going to sleep, there must be a thought which was keeping you awake, and suddenly you find you're gone into sleep. Catch that last thought, and you're back. You are in yourself as yourself. And in this manner, these steps are given for those unprepared intellects, those who are still very body identified, those who are still very world or identified, those who are still the ornament are identified. They don't want to know the gold. They're still caught up in the form. For them, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, Dhyana, Sankirtana, all these steps are told. For them, the idea of individuality and Ishwaratva, Vishwarup Darshan, this is for those unprepared minds. In the entire Dakshinamurti, there was no thought of Vishwarup before. There was no thought. We're just going to the essence, and we know essence is all that there is. Meaning, essence is by nature infinite. It is not by slowly it will become infinite and pervade everything. No, instantaneous. But for the unprepared minds, Ishvara to, Uri Bapre, that is a big one. Acha, you go to Bhu, then you go to Bhuvaha, then you raise your Kundalini, then you go to Swaha, then you go to Mahaha, then you go to Janaha, all the various lokas, and with each loka you are expanding. And with each loka you are purifying. More the purification, remember how the language is in the last two verses and how the language that was utilized was about the previous 8 verses. So there we never talked about purification. We talked only about becoming convinced of the Atmic principle. Here we are talking about purification. Why? We are too preoccupied with the form. Why? We are vikshipta mana. We are distracted people, beings. Where there is distraction, some sadhana is required. When we are single pointed, boom, straight away. For a single pointed person who has already worked out the world, he has worked out all the basic requirements that there is no permanent answer in this world. When he comes to this text, like fish to water, straight away the person is in the essence, as the essence. But otherwise, it will be delayed. Then, lage raho. Shravana. Swamiji, sunne, while I am listening, I get distracted. ठीक है, थोड़े दिन और. Swamiji, but I got doubts. Okay. Swamiji, in meditation, this is happening. Then we have to give them something. And you are smiling away. That this fellow comes with all these doubts, comes with all these questions about Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Why they are coming? Why these doubts are coming? Why the doubts are coming? Because the focus is not on the essence. He is listening to the words, but attention is not the essence. He is contemplating on the doubts because forms are important. He is meditating or contemplating objectively, therefore he is not abiding in the essence. And many people do dhyan also, but that is also objectively. They are thinking about the self and meditating. Self is not a result gained through thoughts. Vedanta is a process of dissolving the thoughts consciously. And in this way, such people, for many people come to us, Swamiji, I can't feel for the name Ram, but I want to quieten my mind. Take the name of the Ram, 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 Ram. No, no, give me something else. Ram, I can't. Okay, take Om, 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 Om. I can't do that. Then take Krishna, 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 Krishna. I can't do that. Okay, Gadha, 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 Gadha. That one is sounding. Why? Donkey, donkey, donkey. Why donkey? That sounds like me. See? For such people, what do you tell? They are not ready to understand that mind is a creature, or is an instrument. Whatever you feed it, it will pump it out. You feed it, if you feed the forms, it will pump out forms. If you feed laziness, it will pump out laziness. If you pump in stamina, it will pump out stamina. If you pump in focus, then I will need to be, it will pump out focus, it will give you focus. If you give the thoughts of reality, it will not give you, but it will be pervaded by that reality. But for these people who are unprepared, for them, because they don't understand, they don't want to understand, because they are so obsessed with forms and family and children and world, that we have to tell them, or scriptures have to tell them, you start. Take the name. I don't like, take. Valmiki ji was like that. He says, I can't take Ram is God, and I've done so much sins in my life, I can't take. But he took. Did he have faith in Ram? No. He was afraid. He was taking it out of fear. And he was taking the name Mara Mara, kill, 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 kill. In Hindi, English it doesn't work. In Hindi it works. Mara, Mara means to kill. Mara, Mara, Mara. It became positive. And he became focused. And yesterday's class, on Saturday's class you saw. Now his story will come in next class. How he became from a murderer into a Brahma Rishi, a self-realized master. See? So he made his mind focused. When he made his mind focused, he became for Shravana, he became available for Manana, he became available for Nididhyasana, he became available for Dhyana. And then he himself composed the Ramayana, the Sankirtana of Ram, the story of Ram. The latter stages of evolution for such unprepared minds, they all happen once they become single-pointed, once they become focused. Till they are not focused, nothing is going to happen. In your life also you will see, to become CA, you have to be focused. To be a wife or a mother, you have to be focused. To work out your day in a particular sequence, you have to be focused. To come here, drive the car so it reaches the destination, you have to be focused. To listen, you have to be focused. Everything in your life requires focus. Question is, what are we having the required focus so that the resultant steps start expressing themselves? When we become focused on family, more and more problems of family become available. They reveal themselves. There is a revelation only, but there is no permanent solution for that. When you are focused on the world, when you suppose I want to go window shopping, I become focused. Drive my car, go to the shopping, sale is going on, I am there available. I go, now I am confused, okay? Suddenly, I went with the focus window shopping, but so much variety is available now. Confusion. I thought I understood my husband, but then he behaves differently and I get confused. Is he that, or is he this, or how many more facets am I going to see of him or her or children? So there are no permanent solutions and answers about this world if you go after the form. I'm going back to the basics. These unprepared people in their intellect, without the focus, are obsessed with form, and sometimes when they do become focused, they are still focused on form of the world only. We are saying become focused on the name of the Lord. Become focused on Om. With that focus, once you have focused on the name of the Lord or on Om or something higher, with that focus you come to Shravana. Automatically in their heart, those who do not believe in God, they start taking the name of the Lord. The love for the Lord begins filling up their heart. They don't have to do anything. Like it's arranged marriage. You don't know the husband. You get married. Now what? After some time you will start loving that person. Husband or wife. Same thing. You start taking the name of the Lord. Eventually you will start loving that name. Then you will start seeing where is it coming from, what is its source. Automatically the journey begins. It is not the journey of the intellectuals. It is the journey for the unprepared intellects. These last two verses. So in this manner, when we understand these two verses, within two verses, in one verse, he expanded our vision, he made us one with the total world, and in the second verse, he is showing us all the various steps which can be climbed, and they can be climbed if we do the first verse and listen to this Dakshinamurti again and again and again. So many people are there who have never, they understand the scriptures without having studied them. I was with one Swami Yogananda in just after Chiploon. I spent 20 days with me. I wanted to spend some time. This is 17 or 18, 2017-18. So I told you, I met him in Gangapur. He had completed his Parayan of Guru Gita, and that day I went there. And he says, this is a great blessing that you have come. I said, no, it is a great blessing that I have come to you. You have just completed. So Parasparam, and then he knew the priest, so we went to the temple, Gangapur, where the Padukas of Dattatreya Maharaj is there. Went there, came back, and I said, next year I'll come, and we went and spent 20 days together. He has never studied scriptures. He has only chanted Guru Gita. Just like you chant Ramayana, he only chants Guru Gita. I have never chanted anything. I have chanted the name of the Lord, but after the ashram, and I keep chanting the name of the Lord, but in the ashram, I have studied the Upanishads, I have studied the Gita, I have studied the Brahma Sutras and the various scriptures. So all that basics is there. But when we are talking, I am coming from what I have studied. He is coming from what he has chanted. Knowledge is the same. Understanding is the same. Abidance is the same. Make yourself available. Start. Become focused. First step is becoming focused. Becoming single pointed on something higher. Preferably on Om or some name of the Lord. So what we are doing here, what do you think? What we are doing here is Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, Dhyanam. What is it? Right now, this interaction which is going on. How many think Shravanam is going on? How many think Mananam is going on? Removal of doubts is going on. How many of you think Nididhyasan, contemplation is going on? And how many of you feel that while contemplation is going on, meditation, that means abidance in the self, is also just there? So all of them at the same time. This is the beauty of satsang. This is, if you take the name of the Lord, same thing will happen. But explanation will not be there. And in this way, for us, nididhyasan, contemplation, every time we take the text, different texts, it's not to teach, but it's to contemplate. Nididhyasan means contemplation. So we take it for contemplation. I'm not contemplating it for you. I'm contemplating it for myself, meaning my mind. Contemplating it for myself. Because through contemplation, suddenly, somewhere, while speaking, I'm in that zone. Everything becomes crystal clear. Then again thoughts, world comes in. Again suddenly it takes you back into that zone. It's not a zone. I'm just using that word. But you fall back into yourself even while everything is taking place. Because all that is taking place is at the equipment level. Speech is happening at the mouth level. Seeing is happening at the eye level. Hands are moving at the movement is happening at the hand level. But the Atma is unmoving. Atma is undisturbed. And while we are doing this nididhyasan, this contemplation, while everything is going on, you fall back into yourself. And yet everything is going on. But when we begin, it may be I am speaking, I am contemplating, I am thinking. But when you fall back into yourself while everything is going on, then speech is going, there is no I. Thinking is going on, but there is no I. Contemplation is going on, but there is no I who is doing it. I is there, but that I, which was the doer of thinking, speaking, contemplating, it has fallen back. It is the witness, and everything is still going on. This is the higher way of living, which is, we are only having glimpses every now and then. Realize masters live in it constantly. You also live in it between two thoughts. You are also there. Every now and then, while listening, you must be also falling into that space, falling back into yourself. But very few moments, because the world is still important for us. World is still important for us. For us, while living in this world, we have oriented our life in such a way that wherever we find ourselves, we'll start this topic only. So, the opportunities are, we are presenting our intellect more and more opportunities to fall back, to dissolve. And I'm not saying intellect has to dissolve. Intellect can continue to do what it is doing. The association is dissolved. The association of the I with the thinking, the association of I with the listening, the association of I with meditation, the association of I with contemplation. That association is dropped. We present that opportunity to ourselves again and again. You can also do that by Shravanam, Maranam, Kirtanam, by making your mind focused, by going to satsangs again and again. Present yourself this opportunity again and again. This is the best present that you can give yourself. A person, or what was that? Rasika. Rasika came from London to Kailash. She was turning 40. She turned 40 while we were on the journey. And she says, Swamiji, I had decided that I am going to give myself a great present, and Kailash is the present that I decided. And then she said, my husband is saying this, my husband is saying that. Is it right for me to be selfish to go to Kailash and leave my children and my husband behind? What should I do? I said, then don't come. In the end, only such a person comes who is chosen by the Lord. For her, this is the language. She says, then what do I do? I said, then don't come. And she started, became emotional. I said, you first decide you want to come. Then you see the magic happen. And she decided, okay. And I pumped her up. I said, all life is aise hi hai. To husband, you're thinking about husband, you're thinking about children. You will see they will be enjoying more after you go. She says, no, but it doesn't feel that way, this, that. But anyway, she made a commitment. I say, you decide first. Decide, how do you decide? Either you commit by buying the air ticket. It was very close to when we were, because only 2 weeks we decided everything. As you buy the ticket and then it's all over. Then you see the things happen. She came to Kailash and for 2, 3, 4 days she did not talk to her family. And then when we started our journey for Kailash, when we crossed into Tibet, she called. And the children are saying, Mommy, and she was surprised that children are more happy than and she's struggling here. No shower, no bath, no. She said, where are you? We are in Sicily. We are enjoying ourselves. And she said, you went without me. She said, you also went without us. Suddenly the penny dropped for her. But on the other hand, all the doubts that were going on in her mind, that how will but is it right? The guilt that she had chosen to feel, where there is no guilt. This guilt is only because our attention is on family, not on the Lord. Our sense of duty is only because our attention is on the forms called the family, not on the Atma. But once you decide, it works better than you can imagine. And they had a good time. They didn't miss her at all. And she cried that they are not missing me. Now new reason for her to cry. Then they're walking, she put her shoulder here. Swamiji, they're not missing me. I was so much troubled that I will miss them, and is it my right or wrong? Something has shifted now. I said, now you do this crying for the Lord to make sure that He helps you to complete the journey and not come halfway. No point thinking about all this. I know they know that you love them, you know that they love you. So where's the question of becoming emotional in all this? And she is one of out of 2 people, he was also 3. She touched Kailash and she did the parikrama. See? She did. And that was the best present. And something has shifted. I went to London, I went to her place for Bhiksha, and full on. Swamiji, what did you do to my wife? Husband do acha. I didn't Kailash magic. Is it for the better or is it for the worse? No, better for her, worse for us. She is unstoppable. That's what happens. Once you shift, the infinite energy that starts expressing through you, the clarity that comes, the commitment that comes to the higher. See, I was in Coimbatore in someone's place, and she said, Swamiji, she came and attended the satsang. She goes to Swamiji's satsang, they organize Swamiji's satsang, and mine was organized somewhere, they came. And she said, Swamiji, it was so nice, it was this. I wish I was living on this side of Coimbatore. It takes about 1 hour to come here. And what do? I heard, this is the second time she was complaining to me. Then I waited for one more time. So the day I was leaving, again she complained, Swamiji, it is so nice to be in satsang. Then why am I not able to go to satsangs and this and that? I said, you have made a mind focused on satsang is happening only on the other side of Coimbatore. And you are fixated that satsang happens only in that area. You have only those ladies when you go to, you have decided that is fun and that you have a good time, so your mind is stuck there. Then what should I do? That is it not true? I said, it may be, it may not be. Then what do I do? I said, you start your own satsang. But I don't know how to teach scriptures. I said, you don't have to teach scriptures. Then what do? You start, you take Lalita Sahasranam, take Vaishnu Sahasranam, send a flyer to all the 10, 20 houses around your house, and out of 20, 5 will come. Your group has started. Give 100, 20 will come. And you start with Lalita Sahasranam. And as you start mingling with each other, you are all coming together not for talking about your family. You are coming together, be very strict. That they come straight away, Lalita Sahasranam begins, they conclude, have a coffee and out. You say, I have got some other work afterwards. Don't allow them to linger. And as this starts, people will also, other people, they will see that their commitment to Lalita Sahasranam, as they start chanting, it will build up. And as they build up, they will say, oh, what does this mean? Automatically it happens, no? If I see any new person, we ask, where are you from? How old are you? What job are you doing? Similarly, when we chant the Lord's name, Goddess name, acha, what is this story tell us? What happened in that story? I recognize some words, Madhu Kaitabha and this and that. Did she kill someone? Did she not? Suddenly they will ask. And you will take Durga Saptashati and you will start reading some part of that story. And as the few months will go by, then you will start, this is a story, what is the meaning behind it? Why this? What is killing of Madhu mean? What is the killing of Kaitab mean? What is the killing of this person mean? Because she's killing all the negative thoughts in our mind, which are represented as these various demons in that story. So you start, suddenly you will spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes reading the story and telling the meaning. Then you will start contemplating, maybe you listen to some satsang and you will find the meaning behind that story and share it with others. Satsang has begun. This is how it begins. When we started, we didn't have so many people. The first day I started with children. I told one story, the children, two kids. How many? 8-year-old. We know that story. I prepared only one. I had to spend 1.5 hours with them. First 5 minutes, 7 minutes went in chanting, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu. After that, 2 minutes also not over. He says, I know the story. I have to spend another 1 hour, 20 minutes. Then I told him, this was Dhruva's story. Then I told him, I said, how many of you know the story of Prahlad? All of them put their hand up. I said, shit man. Then I asked one more story. They also, we know this also. I said, which story you don't know? They said, no, we all know. Because they have already been going to children's class before. I am the new one. So son, that time, creative thinking. And I was at my wit's end. What do I do? I said, I needed time to think. So I said, okay, who knows the Prahlad story? So this fellow says, Vivek, for example. He says, I know. I said, sir, okay, you tell me the story. So I'll get 5 minutes to think what I have to tell next. So he started telling the story. And everyone started telling, hey, you are missing this point. Hey, you are missing that part of the story. Hey, you are missing that part of the story. So I got the cue. So I said, okay, you finished? He says, sat down. I said, so did he tell the whole story or did he tell only part of the story? He told only a part of the story. He missed many points. I said, then did you know the whole story? No, we did not know the whole story. We also came to know some things that he knew and we didn't know. But all of you put hands up that we know the story. And that became my cue, and I took the story and whichever story I took, I can't remember. And I said, with every step I was asking, what did you understand? Tell me. And before we knew, 1.5 hours was over. Just like before we know, 1 hour 45 minutes are over. You didn't realize, no? This is what happens. 1 hour 45 minutes we are sitting here and talking. Well, I'm talking, you are listening. So in this manner, by these various sadhanas, these sadhanas are not there to harass you, to torture you, to show that you are prepared or unprepared, that you are lower or higher. It is not for that purpose. It is to refine, it is to integrate. It is to, the whole purpose of these sadhanas is to bring you back to your own essential nature, not for anything else. And that is wisdom, that is jnana. Knowing is being, being is knowing. Being does not require a thought interception. See, when you know yourself without a thought, there you are. That is then you are where you are supposed to be. Meaning what? When I say when you know yourself without a thought, meaning, this is now again technical, but you will understand when I say it. When you know in spite of the thought. So I am, now I know I am. But if my attention is, I am abiding in the self as the self, I am being the witness, whether the mind says I am or whether the mind is silence, I am, isn't it? The presence of the thought or absence of the thought is not making any dent on the witnessing consciousness, isn't it? Exactly the same way. Exactly the same way. Maintain that disposition. The whole sadhana for these in the last two verses is so that we can come to this point. And in the last verse, the Siddhye tat punarashtada parinatam cha aishwaryam avyahatam. Here it says ashta parinadam aishwaryam cha, and means Ashtamurti, Dakshinamurti. Ashtamurti we saw in the previous verse. Ashtapadam, 8 steps or 8 manifestations or 8 ways of expressions or the 8 murtis. This Dakshinamurti alone is these 8, meaning it is the 8-fold Aishwaryam. So these space, air, fire, water, earth, sun, moon, and the conscious principle at the relative level, because consciousness is infinite, but when consciousness expresses through the matter, that is the jiva, isn't it? And that is not 1 plus second, it's a principle. It's not 1 per person, it's a principle. Life is a principle which is expressing here also, it is expressing in each one of you also. So it is not 1 per person, it is a principle. Principle is all pervasive. That is Dakshinamurti. And and this is Aishwaryam, or this is the not only Aishwaryam, this is his, these 8-fold expressions are not only his glory, including Shravana, Mananam, Nididhyasan, Dhyanam and Sankirtanam. These are also his glory. The entire duality is also his glory. The infinite expressions are also his glory. Aishwaryam is the glory, for which the word used was Vibhuti before. Same thing, Aishwaryam is the glory. And is also Ishwaratvam. And this Dakshinamurti is the master of his own glory. We are subservient to the glory that is expressing, to the manifestation. He is not a slave to the manifestation, he is the master of the manifestation. Ishwaratva. Here the word is Aishwar. Siddhye tat punarashthada parinatam cha aishwaryam avyahatam. Aishwarya is Ishwara. Only Ishwara can be in control of the vibhutis, or in the other words, only Ishvara principle can express his vibhutis, manifest his vibhutis. So what is your vibhuti? What is each one of you's vibhuti? Is there any vibhuti that you can express? Father, mother, son, daughter, these are your vibhutis. Do them to the best of your ability without getting caught up in them. Then it is a vibhuti. If you become enslaved by those roles, you are unprepared. Then what you have to do? Make your mind focused. But if you take these as vibhutis and remain detached from it, remain a witnessing consciousness of these vibhutis, with this knowledge that they are my manifestations. And it is true, isn't it? The mother is not separate from you, the daughter is not separate from you, the wife is not separate from you. So what are these? Vibhuti. Let those vibhutis do whatever they are supposed to do. Convert every experience into a divine experience. And that divine experience is when you come back to being the conscious principle. Whose vibhuti is this? Not this body's. This vibhuti is of the Atma. This vibhuti. So body is made up of what? Space, air, fire, water, earth. Governed by what? Sun and moon. And what is that Atma? The one who is expressing through this body. What are its vibhutis? Father, mother, daughter, sister. Including this body also is its vibhuti. Past, present, future also is its vibhuti. Waking, dream, deep sleep is also its vibhuti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Nidhyasanam, Dhyanam and Sun, that is also its vibhuti. Everything is its vibhuti. Slowly, 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 slowly keep these thoughts in your mind and be the source. Be the source. Don't get lost in the vibhutis. You get lost in the vibhutis, you will find some siddhi appearing from that vibhuti. If you focus on hearing, that this is my hearing is my vibhuti. You start hearing, you will be able to hear other people's thoughts. Then what will you do? Or you couldn't handle your mind, now you have to handle other people's mind also. Because their thoughts are, you go to Nagaraj and you know what Nagaraj is thinking. Ay, sala apna. I become focused on my eyes, I get X-ray vision, I can see everything. My God, what do I need this vision for? Siddhi aa gayi. I can see your past, I can see your future, I can see you, I can see where you are going wrong. Yeah, unwanted information. Ishvara has all these possibilities in him. When a person comes in front, he invokes. Remember, Ramchandraji yesterday went to sage Bhardwaj. Ramchandraji went to sage Valmiki. Both of them said, we know your past, present, future. We know you are the divinity himself manifest in front of us. And that those realized sages, they fell at the feet of 16-year-old Ram. No arrogance, no ego. Because for them, the whole world is nothing but that reality. But here, in the form of Ram, that reality is specifically, fully integrated personality has appeared in front of them. See? In our life, when saints and sages come, they are like that. Some other people also must be. Where someone just said, where they came, oh, what a wonderful energy in this room. That they got in tune. They were empty. Therefore, they got in tune with the energy here. Normally, when we have an interaction with someone, it is with predisposition. This is a man, this is a woman. I don't know who this is. I don't know who she is. What do they want from me? Are they come here to fleece me? Have they come here to sell me? Do I want to be friends of them or do I not want to be friends with them? And the chatter goes on and on and on and on. We are not empty. If we were empty, we will see the divinity that they are. We have already got a huge data. Because we are not empty. So we have our own shortcomings. Those shortcomings we are superimposing on the other and seeing them through the eyes of judgment or our shortcomings. We'll never see what the other person is in actuality. But when we come to be the actual, this Atma, when we look out, we will see everything as the divine Vibhuti alone. And in this way, when we come to this, after studying this whole scripture, we can conclusively or positively say that the self that I am, which I have come to know, is none other than the Dakshinamurti, who is none other than the whole universe, who is none other than the Ishvara, who is none other than the one without a second, who is all pervading. That I have come to realize by studying Sri Dakshinamurti Stotram. See, this is the conclusion of individuality. If you can allow this conclusion to manifest, to express, to abide in while living, that is what the human birth is for. That is what the human birth is for. But we get distracted by n number of things and forget the main purpose why we have got a human body. This is not the topic of this Dakshinamurti, but important. This is the main purpose we got a human body. Only human body can make a choice to abide in the truth as the truth, because gods also can't. So in this manner, we conclude this text with this verse. Sarvatmattvamiti sfutikrutamidam yasmadamushmin stave tenasya shravanat tadamananad dhyanat cha sankirtanat sarvatmatva mahavibhuti sahitam syadishwaratvam swataha siddhyetat punarashthada parinatam cha aishwaryamavyahatam. So first was to go in, and when you come out, you look at the whole world as these verses told you. So prepare your mind that every time you wake up from sleep, you look at the world in this light. Every time you meditate, come out of the meditation, see it in this light. Slowly, first create the habit. Then these thoughts will by themselves remain in your mind when you are moving around in the world. Slowly, one day by grace of God, it will click. And thereafter, you have achieved for what? This is the true purpose for which every human being is born. People want to look for purpose in life. What am I here for? What is my purpose? How do I make impact on this world? You have made enough impact. Now make impact on yourself. This is the true impact. Then the whole world will transform. You'll say, oh my God. We'll leave it with this. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.